Sup, my name is Ryu for the Thepokemoncouncil. Welcome to the Pokemon Sun and Moon speculation video. Numero uno. What am I saying? Welcome to the first one. And I'm going to be talking about some things that were mentioned in the Chinese rumors, so I will post a link down for that. I talked about most of it, and I've also talked about why the starter evolutions could be officially real and be announced probably as we get closer to the game, and why those pictures came from the anime and not just from, rumors. So, there is a big thing going on here. We're pretty much all but confirmed not to have gyms, at least in the start of the game. But there's also this big rumor I didn't talk about in the last Pokemon Sun and Moon video, that Blue, Looker, and a bunch of other characters are coming back into the game to make an appearance. Cynthia was one of them, to basically give their knowledge of the Elite Four, or just anything in general, to help structure it. So why would we make the Elite Four? What would be the point in Alolan to make the Elite Four, Alola, to make the Elite Four a thing? We have no badges. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest idea is going back to Kalos. And why I would think that is plausible, I think we may also, keyword may, be going back to Kanto. Now I know I'm not trying to get anyone's hopes up when I say this stuff, because there was a few, really evidential kind of things. The Donald Trump looking Pokemon, pretty much, it's a Mongoose. Mongoose hates snakes. Why would you bring it to Alolan unless Arbok were just plummeting through Alolan? Alola. Can you imagine if there's an Arbok that's a completely different type? There's so many things, but it goes further than that. The ghost bird type that was revealed a few days ago even mentions Kanto. Now, I may be grasping at straws here. You may just be thinking, hey, you're just going off Chinese rumors and whatnot. But the fact that we have a Vulpix that changed through the climate, a need to adapt, and we may be getting other Pokemon, especially like Execute is definitely a great example, when it evolves to Executor, we may be going back in some shape or form to Kanto, but not. I'll take you back to the first trailer. It said everything's connected. There's one thing through Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby, X and Y that has been getting hinted at that we have not gotten. That is the Battle Frontier. Now, everything mentioned X and Y that led us to Alola is getting put into the game and connecting its pieces. But we have not connected the Battle Frontier. Now, why have we not connected the Battle Frontier? Is because, ladies and gents, I think, keep in mind here, the only time we had a Battle Frontier in-game was during the Hoenn region. But in the anime, it was in Kanto. What would be a great way to not only say some of those things are connected, like Ash Greninja, but to borrow something from the games and say these places move around Kanto. And during our time in Kanto, we could just go to the Battle Frontier. In Kalos Return, because there's a lot of Z references through the game, we could easily go for gym battles through new gym leaders, just like Black 2 and White 2. But I think it goes even further than that. And this is where it's going to get really interesting. I think there is a small possibility, if you guys think back to, I want to say it was the Orange Island episode, way back when. I was like 8 years old now, I was flipping out, and I still believe this is going to end up coming at least one day. If they're bringing Ash Greninja, there is one other anime thing they do need to bring, and it's not Venusaur. That thing can stay away forever. The one thing they do need to bring in, which would make perfect sense now, is Crystal Onyx. Make it a crystal looking Onyx that is an ice type. It is a perfect sense to give Onyx a completely new typing while not changing its design, because you could just pull it from the game. And you could, just like we're getting different color Pokemon. We could bring in the pink Rhyhorn from the Orange Islands. And then eventually mention Orange Islands, and then during Gen 8, give us Orange Islands. Connecting everything, not just the anime. Because why not? Everything is connecting. Now, this is just a theory, and it goes in with the Chinese rumors of Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Abracadabra, Alakazam, Butterfree, Rattata, Raticate getting new forms, and especially Growlithe and Arcanine. When you think about Alakazam and you think about trading Pokemon, I think about Machamp. And in one of the Chinese scans, there was a Machamp. What if that Machamp was a completely different type? What if it was a psychic, physical type Pokemon? There is so much to go into. These are just all theories. But guys, let me know what you think and what would you want to come into Sun and Moon from the anime or anything of the sort. Anything of the, basically, the Pokemon 20-year thing. Also, I do have to mention, the Exeggutor was actually on a Pokemon product about 20 years ago. Probably not 20 years ago, probably like 16 years ago, but god damn it, it was on a freaking trading card product or something along those lines. I'm gonna try to put the picture up now. And it's so cool that they went all the way back, and that's also part of my reason for this theory. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more, and I will see you guys on the next one.